Everyone relax. This is TOFOP. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson. Hello and thank you for watching. Charlie,
Yes.
this is an almost topical TOFOP.
Almost topical.
Almost.
1 week out from when you're listening
But
to
for
it.
us, for a show that has been often up to 6 months in advance, it seems recently, the time shifting that has been going on this would make Christopher Nolan's head spin around in this podcast, but we are almost in real time. We can almost talk about real world
Current
and real
events.
life.
Like we used
events,
to. We used to be a weekly podcast where we'd say, hey, have you seen this film? Or do you want to talk about this specific event?
What's up with Karl or Kyle? You know, mostly that's what we'd say each week.
Well, you're bound to get one of them. The controversy will
Is it
still
Karl
be
or
around.
Kyle? It'd
Both.
be great if both of them just end up doing a show together, the Kyle and Karl show.
Well, isn't Karl, I think
Karl's
and
doing one with
Eddie. Yes.
And Georgia Love, who was
That's,
on
I didn't know that.
The Bachelorette or
Yeah.
The Bachelor.
She came to one of our live shows. She's mates with Sammy Peterson.
Yeah. They used to do a podcast together, I reckon.
Right. Yeah, a crime podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What an odd world we're living in.
I mean, the world is too small now. Even though the world is enormous, it is also too small.
In the sense that that worlds come crashing in on each other.
I don't think that there's any closed off circles in the way that there used to be.
Right.
You know, the idea that your football club or whatever, like whatever your social
Your
grouping
niche.
might have been,
Yeah.
it was a bit of the town you lived in or like the areas. And then often, you know, if someone would go on a holiday or whatever, they'd bring back information from another place and the sort of lollies they had
Yes.
or what TV they watched there or whatever else it might be. And they were the tales and they were filtered through this person who was coming back telling these tales, and you had to believe their version of what you thought Disneyland looked like.
Yeah.
Was what the one kid who could afford to go to Disneyland's family told you Disneyland was like.
Or someone would come back from Japan and they say, they've got double-deck tape recorders.
Yeah.
You can record from one cassette to another. And you were like, whoa.
Well, this is it, right?
Yeah.
Whereas there is nothing that happens anywhere that if it is notable, that you don't have an opportunity to hear about. There is so much cross-pollination you can never have that. There's always in a country of nearly 30 million people in Australia, it shouldn't be so easy to connect our lives to everybody.
But it's not even... Australia is just like that's small fry.
right.
Like it's the world. The thing that I'm always fascinated by is like how these things catch fire in terms of like it used to be the news would choose what was newsworthy, that what people would be discussing the next day at work or at school or whatever. But now it's like the algorithm, I guess. It's what is getting the most engagement, what's getting the most views. But we know that you can put your thumb on the scale with that stuff, right? Like people who run these.
What do you mean you can put your thumb on the scale? Like the scale is 95% thumb. It is it is.
Who's putting their thumb on the scale?
Mate.
This guy.
It is Simon and Garfunkel. They are a team. It isn't Kool and the Gang. No, it is. Yeah, it is a full collaboration with the thumb.
Well, is that the case though? That like, is there just? I mean, I think with X, there's clearly one person at the top who's like.
Are you talking about X, the Everything app?
X, the Everything app, yeah.
X, formerly Twitter.
The hardest working man in the world.
The trillionaire.
Well, I can imagine that's the only way you make $1 trillion is you are the hardest working, smartest person in the world.
Well, he got us to Mars.
Yeah, that's right.
So give him $1 trillion.
We've got self-driving cars.
We have self-driving
cars.
cars.
No one has been burnt alive.
I am on Mars right now recording this podcast in a self-driving car. Once again, everything that he's ever said has come immediately true.
But so you understand that he is a guy who definitely is like, hey, I don't like the fact that this comedian's getting more likes than my tweets, so let's tweak the algorithm.
Well, I own it, so why don't you know what? I feel like this is the world we now live in, where giant babies have all the money and power because the way they operate their lives, because the fella in America is exactly the same. He's like, I want a big plane. I want a gold toilet. I want to like these ridiculous things that no one needs. Have you ever sat on the toilet and thought, gee, I wish this was gold?
Every day. Every day I sit on my toilet. I'm like, how can I desecrate the prettiest thing around? I just like to find beautiful things and shit on them.
I wish this was made of Swarovski crystals.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like to go and get buy fine art and then crap on it when I get home.
Yeah, I only shit in Fabergé eggs.
But it is that it's that Twilight Zone episode, isn't it? It's like the town that's controlled by the petulant child, the one that has like all the power.
Yeah.
And it's I often have this discussion with, other parents at Iona's public school. It's like it's very hard to create like an ethical framework for your child to work from, or at least, guide them into the world, when some of the most powerful, successful people in the world are the worst people.
The way that children behave is being rewarded at the highest level.
Don't lie.
With unfathomable power and riches.
Don't be selfish. Be compassionate to others. Be
Share.
considerate. Share.
Share and care.
No. I requested a gold potty, and I was like, oh boy.
Oh, here we go.
Things are
All
bad.
right, my daughter's going to be in charge of the world. It's good.
Which is, and that is like, obviously, that is a...
That's the problem as a parent, I imagine, which is because you want your kids to be good players, but you know the game is rigged. So how do you prepare them for the world? Do you prepare them to be a good person who is going to be eaten up by the cruel world? Or do you prepare them to be adaptable for the world that they're going to find themselves in?
I think that you are touching on such a complex issue, which, like that's what the manosphere is kind of built on, right? Is, hey, it's a jungle out there. You need to be the strongest, smartest, most dominant individual. Eat these supplements, get these women, make money through crypto, and you'll be bulletproof. So I don't know how a parent can possibly combat all that information, because even if you come from the most loving, supportive family, information that comes from your parents when you're a teenager is just stuff you want to reject. It is just natural that you need to get some separation from those caregivers. You'll hopefully will come back around and have a healthy adult relationship, but I think it is natural to want to rebel. So at that time in your life where you are the most attuned to information that is contrary to the established norms of your parents or other leaders in your community, you are ripe to be told that this is how you survive. You need to be individualistic, and you need to be selfish, and you need to be dominant.
Yes. And the evidence that they see all around the world is those things working, or at least you can paint
the image of
picture,
those things.
The image
working.
of those.
Did
things
you watch the
working.
Louis Theroux Manosphere?
Yeah, of course I did.
That, it's so funny, isn't it? Just how quickly the illusion is shattered.
I mean,
You introduce a mother or a wife or a girlfriend, and they're all they immediately just collapse. All these guys,
because of course it's pretending. Because why would you even want a relationship that is like that?
Yeah.
I think that is part of the tough sell, right? Because the relationships and image and life and world that they are selling is actually so false and so hollow and not what human beings actually crave, that the minute that you see even behind the facade of these guys who are pretending to live this lifestyle, you see that their actual world is propped up by real human dynamics and relationships, and they are just play acting being this particular person that they are sending out to the public, that it is an act, that it is a pretense, that even the people who are selling this idea don't actually want to live that life in the same way as the Liver King was shooting up roids, right?
No. Well, I think are you doubting the ancestral lifestyle, the 11 sacred tenets of the ancestral lifestyle?
My point being that often those who I've just actually read I've gone through a period of time where I've been reading books that have been quite popular on Book Talk.
Oh yeah,
and one of them was a thing called Yesteryear. Have you heard about this?
no.
It's really fantastic, and I don't want to talk too much about where it ends because there is a bit of a twist ending to it.
So it's a fiction.
It's a fictional book,
yeah.
and it's set essentially the premise is a woman who has made her entire life to be one of those online trad wives, like a very popular online trad wife, finds herself in a circumstance that you don't entirely know how or why yet, that she is now back in the time of
50s.
the trad wives, or 1800.
Oh, okay, right. Way
1850s.
trad. Okay,
Yes,
yeah.
leading the lifestyle. Not the lifestyle she was promoting online as being that trad wife lifestyle, but actually leading the realities of that lifestyle. And then the book is about
That's
you know,
great.
how and why and whatever. And I wouldn't want to give too much more away, but it was really quite fantastic. And yes, absolutely a satire of this very idea of you can sell the idea of this lifestyle, but you're still selling it using all these modern day relationships and worlds and you know technologies, etc.
I mean, I've been grappling with it a lot. That this, this idea of sort of masculinity, like that Daniel Sloss chat, obviously went mega viral. That interview was great, and you guys talking about like Andrew Tate and stuff, and having it.
Did it?
Yes, you would be unaware. No,
I was unaware.
people are still chatting. Like
Is that
every
right?
now and then, the comments are blowing up with people. I mean, thankfully, most in agreement with what
I don't mind.
Daniel.
The comments are the comments, right? Like even when they're negative, you don't know if they're real people.
But it's interesting. Yeah, that's right. And
Even when they're positive, you don't know if they're real
but
people.
it's gone like we're getting comments from people from all different countries and stuff. It's not just Australia, but a lot. It is every now and then a guy will come in and say, "Hey, that's what he's saying is not true. Like women are attracted to attractive men and blah 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 blah." And then there'll be all these women saying, "Yeah, look, of course." Like women, but that is not the dominant thing, and like the concentration around like money and physical attributes and all that kind of stuff is a very minor portion of why someone is attracted to you. It's a complex web of things that attracts you to someone. But I do think about
I will say this.
what?
I've got the worst body in history, and I've done okay. That's my new.
But you could, but then if
But
I was,
I'm rich and famous.
yes,
Yes.
that's what the manosphere would point to is
Yeah.
that you're a Chad
Right.
when it comes to
Okay.
success.
But I didn't have to do that Andrew Tate's way.
No, and I
Like even if some of those things may be true, even if there are other ways that you can make yourself more desirable to other people, they don't all have to be going to the gym and viewing women in the way that Andrew Tate might view women.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
think that when you look at the target demographic, which is teenage boys, like I think back to like I was a fairly self-aware, progressive teenage boy, grew up in a house with only women, with like a house that was, I would describe as like, having feminist ideals in it. But I went to an all boys school. And even with that base at home, when I went to my all boys school, I would be surrounded by ideas that were really chauvinistic or misinformation around women or men's relationship to women and all that kind of stuff.
Not just, I mean, I think probably amplified at a boys' school because you other the other sex
that's
in a
right.
way that they become so fascinating and foreign that these myths grow up around them. But I can guarantee you that as a boy who went to a co-educational school in my entire life, that still happens.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Well, you're teenage boys.
you're teenage
You
boys.
clan up.
And
When I say clan, not Ku Klux.
hopefully. Who knows
But who
these
knows?
days? Right. But,
Of all the clans, Wu-Tang, not Ku Klux. If you got to go one or the other, go
if you're
Wu-Tang.
choosing.
Yeah.
And there will be a choice as a teenage boy.
Yeah.
Please go in the direction of the Shaolin.
Yeah.
So I would say that because you are trying to fit in and find your group as a teenage boy as well, and you have all these hormones and whatever, that absolutely those things you were saying about what the manosphere taps into, I'm glad that we didn't have that hyper accelerated power of convincing you to do something bad. That because mostly for us it was a porno mag on a train track in the bush, or like some story you heard from somebody, or like blah blah blah. There wasn't this access to the temptations of when your brain isn't fully formed and the bad decisions you can make. There has been an acceleration of your capacity to make bad decisions,
Yeah.
the lasting consequences of those bad decisions, with them being recorded or captured, or somebody conning you or whatever else it might be. I think that's the problem. That the
Well, it's also
consequences have been amplified.
they're literally offering courses to be a scumbag.
Weaponized.
Yeah. So it's not like you're right.
You've got this
back in our day.
You've got this impulse.
Yeah.
And hopefully eventually
Here's a 12 steps to becoming to make it the
lean
worst.
into that. You know that thing inside you that feels terrible? What if we made that your whole bit?
Yeah, and so like I mentioned last time we were recorded that like Chambo sent me that letter I wrote when
Yeah.
I was a teenager, and I was like, oh my God, like it was just so embarrassing, edgelord kind of stuff. And again, like I viewed myself as, I wasn't like a right wing kid, or I was fairly progressive in my worldviews, and even
Yes.
then, I was still leaning into that kind of language and behavior.
Provocative.
Yeah,
Because also you see it a lot in when people start out in comedy, is that you want a reaction. And shock,
smoking a cigarette in
right?
front of a brick wall.
So shock will give you a reaction.
Yeah,
After a while, you are able to get that reaction without having to just go to shock,
Yeah.
right? But as a teenage boy, like a lot of the time it is shock or transgression or like repeating things
Okay.
that you don't even believe yourself,
yeah,
but you are trying to find your friends and your group and fit in. Like I know there are things that I did as a teenage boy or said about girls or like whatever, and I'm probably being generous with myself to keep it to being a teenage boy, that I would hope aren't reflective of the way that I view women or the world. And I hope even then weren't, but maybe they were. I don't know. But
yeah.
and I went to a co-educational school, and I came from a family that taught about equal work and all these sort of things.
Yeah.
They just you're trying to fit in with your friends and say
Yes.
edgy things, or like you're curious about sex and sexuality and
you
these sort
don't
of things,
know.
and you don't know.
Yeah,
and-
it's like that scene in The 40-Year-Old Virgin where he's never had
Yeah.
sex before, and he's like holding a breast. It's like a bag of sand,
Yeah.
like that's all you're doing as a teenage boy. I think though, where it sounds so new age and stuff, but like compassion has to come into play at some point with this stuff. And I know that like teenage boys say and do horrible things, but a lot of the time they don't know what they're saying and doing. And I think that the danger is when the reaction is like, you're inherently toxic,
Yeah.
you're a bad guy, you're just a little like right-wing Nazi in training, all that kind of stuff. Then what option do they have? They're going to retreat further to the people who are saying, hey, the world's rejecting you.
You're
They're
okay.
trying to take your masculinity away, as if that is the thing that is your
I think
masculinity.
this is the mistake that progressives, like, I think this is, I'm not going to tell, like people how they should be doing their politics or their activism or whatever it is. But I do think, as a person who would describe myself as progressive, a thing that we can be guilty of is pushing people to worse company than they. We see it with the anti-vax stuff. Like you suddenly saw yoga instructors
It's
like
shaming.
walking alongside neo-Nazis because they had been pushed away from a conversation we were having in the rest of society. And
Yeah.
I do think that with boys, like we want to, I think, explain to them how, like, they aren't toxic because they are boys. There are aspects of masculinity that are toxic that are bad for boys as well.
Yeah.
Like I look back on some of those times and some of those messages and go, these were things that I was hearing and accepting and taking on board that I, as an adult now looking back on my life, think these were bad messages. I shouldn't have been taking these in. These are toxic aspects of how masculinity was portrayed that were damaging to me to hear them. And I think rather than saying, masculinity itself is toxic, like there are plenty of aspects of masculinity that are very positive for society in the same way as there is with femininity and etc.
Yeah, it's also I think it's a generational thing, because I think a lot of what is being pushed it's the older generation, like it always happens where the older generation do not like or do not understand what is happening, and so they reinforce this is the way I was raised. This is how my father talked to me. This is how my father, that was his view on things. So that's going to be my view.
This is how my father talked to me. He did not.
He did not.
and that's how it was done.
I'll never forget a mate of mine saying like,
this is how my father talked to me. How about that cricket?
Yeah.
This is how men talk to each other.
yeah, like like honestly, for most of my friends of our age, like if football didn't exist, they would have nothing to talk about with their fathers. I remember a mate of mine saying like, when he was an adult going home for Christmas one year, and his dad met him at the door and was all like looking at his shoes. And he's like, "Is everything okay, Dad?" And he's like, your mum says I got to give you a hug." And he's like, okay, Dad.
Yeah.
Like, it was
Yeah.
the first time that had physical contact. Couldn't hold on too long because didn't want it to be gay.
I'll just pat you on the back as we do it. So I'm hitting you a bit as well. This is how we do it. I'm going to talk to you how my dad talked to me. What do you think your mum wants for Christmas? Just a proper conversation between a man and his son.
But I think those, and look, I'll give this what I think is the positive spin of all this now, is I think that those things do start to break down. Like, I know with a lot of the younger guys that I know, like when I started on Home and Away, for instance, I was in my mid-30s and there's a bunch of actors, like late teens, early 20s coming in. And like traditionally when you're on a like a production and you go for an away shoot, like it's a bit like school camp, like you all go away to a location to shoot, but then at night you all go to the hotel bar and have a bit of fun and stay up late and drink and blah, blah, blah. And
How
so,
many times at one of those things does someone go, normally we're home, but now we're away?
and everyone raises their glass. I declare Raymar the wittiest man of the evening.
We were normally home, but now I'm a Ray. Ma.
But I remember one night, like, so, you know, the crew, all the older actors, we're all spilling into the bar to have some drinks, but all the young guys were like, they were going to bed early. They wanted to get up, go to the gym, have their wheatgrass shot, because drinking culture is not the same for, you know, that generation. And then I look even younger to that, and I see the way that, you know, at I own a public school and even in the sporting organizations and stuff around, the way kids, not just boys, but kids are taught to be compassionate and understanding and more welcoming. It's completely different to how when we went to school. Like, even in an educational perspective, like there's special education teachers in there to deal with kids who are neurodiverse. So rather than that kid being difficult or that kid being naughty and, you know, being punished or whatever, they just tailor the class to accommodate for kids who are differently abled in terms of how they interact and learn. So they're not othered, they're not made to sort of feel. And so I do think that, like, a child, no child is raised with prejudice. You know, that is learned from their parents or whatever information they start taking in. So I do think that if you sort of look at the institutions and where they start, there are institutions that are making changes that will hopefully create kids that are a bit more aware of being more inclusive or bringing back DEI, Will. That's what I'm saying. We need to bring back DEI in a big way.
Well, I do think that in all cases, this idea of when you read about somebody who's gone down a rabbit hole of any kind, and I've read a few books recently that have like dealt with that, one about people going down the rabbit hole of, you know, being angry about things like the manosphere, and one about, you know, people going down the rabbit hole of medical misinformation. But the thing that is a core tenet to both of them seems to be isolation, loneliness, them being rejected from like whatever it would be. Like, you know, not being in the medical one, it was very much like doctors can't answer this question that I have about my health, and then my family won't let me have this treatment, and then I stop telling people about, like, you know, what it is that I'm getting the treatment. So I go more and more into this world where people will accept me and go, no, this. And then, of course, disastrous consequences where these vulnerable people who have no one else to bounce their ideas off anymore are taken advantage of by people who are there to manipulate them. And it happened again in the Boys Will Be Boys book. It's the same thing in the manosphere. It's like that idea of being pushed out and out and out of the group until there's another group that will accept you. And then once you're in that group, you're taken advantage of. And we see this in the right wing of politics a lot, which is these people who will get pushed out and out and out and out and then find themselves in these like places that it is very hard to come back from once you are there.
Well, once your identity is so closely tied to those ideals, it's like it takes incredible bravery for you to break from that or to say, actually, I got this wrong, or that's no longer who I am. And even when it happens in a positive way, like when someone who was, say, you know, like very right wing or whatever has like they have a come to Jesus moment, or like I was wrong. part of me is always like, what's going on here? Like, I don't trust you.
Well, certainly if it's a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
These days, that's
Oh
a
my
real
God.
signal of
Did
like,
you
what
see-
did you do?
I mean, I know this is months ago now,
Yeah.
but did you see the clip of Russell Brand on
Mate,
Piers
it's
Morgan?
worth backing over.
Oh,
It's one of the greatest, like, you know, one of those
like,
things where
it's
you're
an
like,
Alan Partridge, but it's
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 one
the
of those-
funniest thing he's ever done, ironically.
I would say this, okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure everybody in the world's seen this clip, which is that. So Russell Brand, obviously, in the middle of his court case, he has gone on Piers Morgan's show. Now,
He's been carrying a Bible
Yes.
into court.
yes, that's right, and he's been reading a particular passage to get him through the court case, and it's been inspiring him.
What passage is that exactly,
Yeah.
Will?
Well, let me just look it up on live TV for the next 3.5 days.
Oh.
Like Jesus died and popped back out of the cave in less time than it took Russell Brand to. He found it the next day. Did you see that? Like he actually found
No.
he found the passage and messaged about it the next day. But it's one of those moments where it's like when you like go into a football game and you're like, I don't know which of these teams I would prefer to win this game, but the minute the ball is bounced, you clearly have a sense of like, actually, I'm on the side of this team.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know until I was, and if you told me that Piers Morgan was going to talk to Russell Brand, I was like, that's a 0-0 draw in my book. And then suddenly, in that moment, I was like, oh, you know what? All right, I'm slightly more on Piers Morgan's side.
The
Right?
discipline that Piers
Yeah.
Morgan has.
That's great
to
interviewing.
not
to shut the fuck up,
speak. And not even
Let
like,
him go.
but not
Never.
crack up.
No.
Just like po-face.
hold it.
Just, it's
Just hold
amazing.
it.
But
Well,
what-
Russell, and the fact that Russell Brand didn't stop,
yeah.
or just didn't pretend it was another thing, or just didn't quote a Bible
Just
verse.
grab any verse
But
and
also,
then justify it after the fact.
If you have been reading, if you were, like, let's give Russell Brand the grace that I can imagine he probably does not deserve.
Let's give
right?
Russell Brand what his jury probably will not give him, which is the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I hope they won't. But let's just say, for the sake of the argument,
Yeah.
that he was indeed a reformed Christian man who had his entire life changed around by the Bible, which
Yeah.
is kind of what he is pitching that he is. So let's just take it on what he is saying, regardless of what has happened before, the crimes he may or may not have committed beforehand. Let's just take this bit where he has said, I have seen the light, I have found the Lord, I have repented for my sins, Jesus has shown me the way, to be a better person. Let's assume that that is a thing that you can do and that he has done. Let's give him that benefit of that doubt. If that is true, Charlie, are you telling me that you can't quote one thing from that book that is I can quote 25 things from The Princess Bride right now off the top of my head.
Just say Austin 316.
Just give me something. Right? Hi, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father, prepare to die. Give me something.
But a part of Russell Crowe's whole shtick.
Russell Brand.
Oh,
I
Russell
think we
Crowe.
shouldn't drag
Yeah,
Russell
I
Crowe
know.
into this.
Russell Crowe, no.
yeah.
Russell Brand's whole thing is he was kind of like this erudite can think on his feet, wordsmith. The fact that a guy who built his career like that couldn't ad-lib, I'm an actor. I would have my finger would have landed on a verse. I would have read it out aloud. And then my brain would have been like, okay, how do I link this to how this guy... Because all he had to say was, this is why it gives me comfort. So you could and the Bible is completely open to interpretation. It would have been a layup for a good improviser just to go, oh yeah, thou shalt not blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, I feel like my transgressions in the past, I was a different man, blah, blah. It was not a hard needle. The fact that he sat there and just leafed through it and then not that bit. I had it here somewhere. All of that kind of stuff just made it so much worse. Just point your finger and then make it up. We still would have known you're bullshitting, but at least you wouldn't have had this whole kind of circus show.
I think that it is incredible that he had a book that had Post-it notes.
Did it? I didn't know.
It had little tabs.
Right.
So just open one of those tabs, because those tabs must have been put to highlight some sort of verse, right? You would imagine.
Unless he didn't do it, unless his assistant did it. Is that
random tabs?
Can you just get my Bible and just put some Post-it notes in it?
Then yes, in that case, I would do exactly what you have suggested, which is just take a random, open the page, read the first 5 things that
All
you
right,
read.
I'm gonna go
Great.
random Bible verse.
Give me a
I want
random
you-
Bible verse,
So
and I will.
you have to
yes,
explain why
this has helped me during this time.
why it's given you.
Just
why
Google
you
random
comfort.
Bible
Yeah,
verse. That's
yeah.
great. This is good.
Okay, here you
This
go.
is good content.
All right. Old Testament, New Testament.
Don't mind. Doesn't matter. I'm inspired equally by both, to be honest.
Okay, random
Yeah.
Bible verse generator. Here
It's
we
all
go.
the word of the Lord.
All right, this is Isaiah 40:31.
Yeah. It's been Isaiah 14:31.
But they who wait for the Lord
Yes.
shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint.
Okay, well that's pretty easy. So obviously,
So, Will, you've been accused of
Yes.
some pretty horrendous things.
Thank
You
you.
are taking this Bible into court. Is there some verse that has given you comfort?
there is, Piers. Thank you for asking me. It's Isaiah 40:31. But they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. Now, I just want to stop there before we go on. Obviously, I, like everybody, would like this to be completely wrapped up as quickly as it possibly can. But this is about justice, and everybody has their story to be told. I know that I will be innocent at the end of this, and I have my faith in the Lord. But those who wait for the Lord are those who can renew their strength. So I've been trying to every day renew my strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. That just reminds me that sometimes people are trying to drag you down. The turkey's on the ground, and I'm trying to soar above them.
And you're in
And
America.
keep my grace. And then we are in America, the greatest country in the world. They shall
Eagles.
run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. And that is just me. I will run to court every day to prove my innocence, and I will walk away a free man and not faint at the end. And that's just been getting
Beautiful.
me through.
Beautiful.
Isaiah 40:31.
That sounds fun. I'm going to have a go.
Right.
All right, here we
All
go.
right.
You be Pierce Morgan.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Now, Charlie, you've been accused of some pretty terrible crimes. But I know that you're a Christian man. You've been bringing the Bible into court every day. Just could you tell me what verse it is that's been getting you through?
Yes, this is Ephesians.
Mhm.
I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah,
Chapter 2, verse 19 to
Uh-huh.
20. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints, and the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Jesus Christ himself being the chief and cornerstone. You know, I came to this country as a foreigner,
Mm.
Will, and
Piers.
Pierce. And I'd like to say that although these accusations, which I deny vehemently, I feel that I have been accepted into this country because it is a country that is under the law of God.
Yeah.
It is the household of God, and I
God
put my
above all.
trust in God. I put my faith in God.
Mhm.
It says that we are built on the foundations of the apostles and the prophets. I myself am a humble servant
Yes.
of Jesus Christ himself. And I trust that through this process that I will be cleared, and I wish nothing but the best for the person I raped. I mean,
Oh no! Oh no!
oh no!
Oh, no.
Let me just read you another chapter
Yeah. Oh, no!
from the Bible.
Oh no!
Fucked it right at the end.
Damn. Yeah, it was bad. But it was great television.
Great TV.
Yeah.
That and
Because everybody thinks that because the way that it is being portrayed is that he has embraced this Christianity as a cover for previous bad
well, they all
deeds.
do.
Well, that's what it feels like. That is the least generous reading of it. This was an example of what people think to be true, which is that, because there are genuinely people, and I don't want to diminish this, even though it's not my jam, who do, I think, find some sort of peace or salvation through a belief in Jesus or some other religious figure. But I think it's disrespectful to those people when charlatans come in and
I mean, that's the whole thing about, you mentioned the guy in America before. The fact that the evangelical right, just like this guy, You know, all these
Yeah.
things that we hold dear,
Yeah.
family values, morality, like,
You know the 10 Commandments? He's
Yeah.
broken all of them.
well, who knows the commandments better than him?
Yeah.
Like he's broken
But
all
yeah,
of them.
You got to know them to break them,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. But it's just, yeah, the hypocrisy of that, like once that's done, it's like, okay, well, it's very hard to trust. And like you say, there's people who genuinely have these
Yes.
moments and good for them. But it just gives you incredible cynicism when someone who is accused of such serious crimes does that pivot. I was listening to a podcast actually this morning before I came in here. Do you know the comedian Stavros Halkias?
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
So he was sort of talking about in America, he's gone, it's a very strange pipeline, failed comedian to right-wing pundit.
Mm.
And he started pointing out all these right-wing commentators that, you know, you see on Fox News or whatever, and I didn't realize, but so many of them
Used to be
comedians. Were you aware of that? Like, is
Yeah.
this something that has
Well,
been
Alex
studied?
Jones was even did comedy.
Was he?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like he does
He's
feel
a bit
like he's still a
Yeah,
comedian
yeah.
in ways. It's a clown.
But you're right. Like there are so many of those commentators who started out as stand-up comedians,
Especially
and
in
some
the
of them have
online
even
space too.
Yes, like that's right. Like people like Jimmy Dore and whatever. I mean, I
my
used
God.
to do gigs with Jimmy Dore in LA. When
I
was
watched
living there.
him. I watched because I really started following Jimmy Dore during COVID because I think he was mates with
Because you
Dave.
didn't believe in vaccines, right?
Well, he was mates with Dave Anthony,
Yeah.
right?
Back in the day.
And so I think that Dave put me onto him. So I used to
Yep.
watch his YouTube channel because he was giving like a fairly kind of, it was like, felt like, oh, this is an
It
alternate
was.
take on the news. And
It was like, particularly for America, what he was doing at the start was just that bit of that anti-authoritarian,
Yeah.
like left.
yeah, like cops are all blah,
progressive.
blah, blah. And
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
then when COVID happened, to see what happened and like in real time to go, oh, wow. And like, I don't know. It's one of those things too. It's like, how much of this is performative because like he sees there's more money to be made on the right wing, or is
but
he
you're
genuinely?
This is my problem, though, is that everyone thinks they can start just faking it. Everyone thinks that you can just like, oh, it's okay.
I'll just throw a bit of chum in the water.
a little grifty.
Yeah,
I'll just be a little grifty. All I want is a
What's
little
going
bit of that
on in
money.
Australia?
Come on, guys, just a little grifty. But the problem is, you start burning bridges behind you, and you have to go full grift. Once you're there, you have to, like, you say it enough, you talk to people, you start to believe it. You start to go, all the people I'm talking to are saying the exact same thing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it also that thing too of like, because especially, I guess, like TikTok comedians and stuff, a lot of what I see is, especially in Australia, like young comics who are like, I'm just saying, like, people want you to say the thing that's shocking that, they feel that they can't, they've been told that they can't say
Yeah.
or whatever. And
Everyone always seems to be saying those
but
things,
it's like,
don't they?
but everyone's always saying all the time, and everyone
That's the
has
thing
their
about
own
the things that people
broadcast
can't
platform.
say, is that everyone's saying them.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying the things that you can't say all the time.
People just want permission to laugh,
Yeah.
and it's like
People
well,
just
they do it
laughing all the time. Always
Like I
laughing.
don't understand. I saw Neil Mitchell the other day being like, "Boomers have been like silenced, and boomers need a voice." It's like you're on 3AW.
Mate,
What are you talking
Neil
about?
Mitchell, you were the voice of boomers for the last 40 years.
I don't understand like this idea that like people are being shut down. But then, why is it? Do you think that? Why specifically?
I don't think anyone's being shut down, by the way. I feel like people feel like they aren't being heard. We're all broadcasting. We all have the capacity to say whatever we want to say. The problem is that people are saying things and we aren't listening because we don't listen to each other anymore. Like we are all in our own, like I'm guilty of it as well. You get on a train, you put on your headphones or whatever else it might be. Like we shut ourselves off in our own worlds. I don't think it is about you can't say anything anymore. It's about how things are being heard.
So how is that? How do we change? Like, how do we change?
Oh, I
that?
don't know. I'm just good at identifying problems, not
Okay.
fixing them.
Let me just read you.
I have a podcast,
I've got
mate. I'm
a
not
chapter
running
verse.
for. Yeah. You know what? When I'd like to solve this problem, I always quote this particular. You know what?
5 minutes of silence of us just turning the Bible. No, not that bit.
Give me another random one, and I'll see if I can fix what's going on in the society at the moment.
Okay.
With just a random Bible verse. Let's just see how easy this is. Let's send this clip to Russell Brand of like, this, mate, this is what you should have done. Maybe we've invented a new improv game.
Yeah, this is verse of the day. Okay, this is Thessalonians.
Thessalonians, yep. When I want to reflect on what's going on in the world, I like to reflect on Thessalonians.
Yeah.
Chapter
5, verse 23 to 24.
Chapter 5, 23 to 24.
May God himself,
Yep.
the God of peace,
The God of peace.
sanctify you through and through. May your whole spirit,
Yep.
souls and body be kept blameless
Yep.
at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. The one who calls you is faithful, and he will do it.
Okay, sorry. That is actually just the request I put into Pornhub. That is a completely different. We haven't. There's a lot of entries for the coming of the Lord, by the way. It is incredible.
God himself, the God
himself,
of peace.
The God of peace. Well, firstly, the God of peace. Let's remember which God we're talking about. We're not talking about the God of war. We're not talking about the God of money. We're talking about the God of peace.
Sorry, just a little side note. Did you see when the Pope came out and said, hey, look, I think this Iran war is pretty horrible and stuff. The J.D. Vance, who's recently converted to Catholicism, came out and said, there's a justifiable war.
Yeah.
The Pope is misreading Catholic
Pope
dogma.
doesn't get it,
the
mate.
Pope.
The Pope. The Pope. The guy who's got the direct line to
literally
God.
just joined the club. You just got your token and you're going to tell the Pope.
You are the greatest well-actually person in the history of well-actually, I think.
Worst Pope ever.
Un-American, the Pope.
Do you want another one?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't realize there's so many like Bible verse generators. I shouldn't be surprised.
I didn't realize that we were going to spend so much time talking about Bible verses.
This is fun. I haven't done this since
I know. It's like
you know,
old
I
school
used
for
to,
you.
as a kid, I used to go to, do you know what the rosary is?
Why not? You do the rosary.
You
in a
do the
Catholic.
rosary,
What is
yeah.
it? What is it though?
Fuck, it's...
Because there's rosary beads. I'm familiar with rosary beads.
Yeah,
Are you going to ask me to chime in? Because this was my whole upbringing.
Oh, really?
Right?
Pretty sure Elise
Were you raised
Catholic as well?
My parents still very Catholic.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay,
raised
yeah.
Catholic. It's,
So-
it's 10 versions.
Of,
No, 5 versions of 10 of the same prayer.
That's right. Yeah. So
In a loop.
the rosary, so the rosary beads is broken into there's 10 beads per section. Is that right? And so as you do the rosary, you hold onto one bead. You say Our Father. You say the Lord's.
You say Hail Mary.
Say Hail Mary.
Please.
10
Hail
times.
Mary,
Sorry.
yes.
But you finish with the Lord's Prayer, right?
You finish with, you start with Our Father.
Start with Our Father.
Okay, hang on.
10
So
Hail
when you say
Marys.
Our Father, are you just saying Our Father, or
No, you say Our Father.
Our Father,
right
our Father,
now, hallowed be the name.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread.
Forgive us our trespasses.
We forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us
not
not
into
into temptation,
but
but deliver us from evil. Amen. Except you don't say the Amen until the very end of the whole thing. Otherwise, you've prematurely ended your rosary.
The Amen's the closing bit of the rosary. That's like out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Amen.
I'm
Drop the
done.
mic. Yeah.
drop the cross. I'm out of here, baby. Drop the beads.
Spin the cross.
Final bead. Amen.
So now, when you do the rosary, do you do the whole? I can't remember. So you do the 10.
You do 10. If you
How
want to do a full
many
rose,
times?
You do 10 5 times.
That's it.
And there are actually 3 versions, so
That's
there could be
right.
15 all up because there's like
Do you know
the
Hail?
joyful
Do
mysteries.
you
the
know Hail,
sorrowful-
Holy Queen?
Oh.
Hail, Holy Queen. Hail, Holy Queen.
Oh, Mother of Mercy, hail our life, our sweetness, and our hope.
To you do we cry for the
Our
banished children of Eve.
to thee do we send up our sighs, mourning and weeping in this valley of tears. Turn them, most gracious,
navigate thine eyes of mercy towards us. And after this our exile, show unto us the blessed fruit of thy womb, Jesus. O clement, O loving, O sweet Virgin Mary.
Pray for us, O Holy Mother of God, that we may be made worthy of the promises of Christ.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell.
Wow, that's just activated something.
I know, but it happens, right? Like I have not been to
That's
mass
deep.
in like 30 years, but
No.
it's
Yeah,
like
it's
Pavlovian. It just comes back. So
Sorry, Will.
so what I was going to say,
Pavlov's God.
like on every
Thank you.
Wednesday, my mum would take me to Rosary. So we'd go around to one of our neighbours' place, and it'd all be adults. It was like mum and her friends and me, and we'd kneel in the living room, like I don't know, maybe like
Mitchell.
10 adults would kneel and would do the Rosary, and that was like a Wednesday evening
Hang on,
for
you
me.
kneel and do the rosary.
So you all kneel, and
Yeah.
someone leads the Rosary,
Together.
and you
in
all
a
just
circle?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you're praying, I guess. Like
Yes.
it's a form of prayer. But I can't actually remember what the purpose of it was. Like, is the rosary, like, is it just a bit of Catholic maintenance?
Yeah, and I think it's also like the idea that when 2 or more are gathered in my name, then, your power's multiplied or something.
Right.
Oh, like
Yeah.
Voltron.
Yes.
I can't remember. Like, I do remember that one of Mum's friends, he passed away, and we were doing a lot of rosaries around that time,
Okay.
I guess, and so that was to send him to heaven, give him a bit of extra
You got to
boost.
give him, boost him up there.
A bit of like, get out there.
Hey, mate,
Go,
there's a
Pat.
line.
Go.
Nah, I'm being
No,
pushed
no.
by those rosaries.
But then after that, it was just, and I remember too, because that, at least you're probably too young for this, but the Pope did a visit to Australia in 85 or 86, I
Yeah.
think. And I
It's a
got
bit too early for the
some
bicentennial.
merch. We went to see him at Flemington Racecourse.
That's
He was
very
riding, right?
Yeah.
In the race 6?
No, he came out to Welcome to the Jungle. He was like an hour and a half late. We saw his chopper descend.
Had to drink holy water
You
out
know
of a
where
puddle.
you are? You're in the Vatican, baby. No, but they were selling merch. Like you get like Pope 86 t-shirts or whatever it was. And my dad got me like papal rosary beads, like official, tour 86, 87 Pope rosary beads with Pope John Paul II's face like printed on the back. Like, I mean, thou shalt not have false idols, but here's the Pope. Here's your merch.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because like God chooses the Pope, kind of, right? That's the vibe, So of all the ones who can have merch, you would think that like God's representative, because is the Bible not merch? The Bible's merch. Like God's one of the original,
But the prophets don't go to the church.
don't they?
Anyone can sell a Bible.
Anyone can sell a Bible.
Oh, well, I assume a publisher would apply
but
for the
you
rights.
go to the church and then you're like the
I mean,
collection plates
the
going
White
around and
House have
stuff.
released a Trump Bible.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's blank.
Be great if
It's
that was the
just-
Bible that Russell Brand was taking it.
No, there's definitely. Oh no, I think that was one of his scams. I think maybe he was going to release a Trump issue Bible and they never were printed. Or,
Okay.
it's like the Trump mobile phone that they were going to make, and then
It's called the God Bless the USA Bible.
is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep. You can get the presidential edition for $99.99.
There's an Old Testament, a New Testament, and a New and Improved Testament.
Do you think there'll be a time like in 20 years, if the planet still exists, where people will look like all that Trump merch will be like ironic and cool? Like you'll go around to a cool hipster's apartment and he'll have like a Make America Great Again hat or like a Trump phone, and people will be like, oh, that's funny and ironic now because it's so much time has passed.
I've probably talked about this on the podcast before, but not for a long time. And I thought about it again recently, which was this. So many, many years ago now on Gruen, we used to do a segment which was like, what would insert name do? So it was like, what would Putin do? What would Trump do? What would whatever? And so one season it was all Trump. And this is pre-Trump running for, this was all from the point of
Oh,
view.
like pre-2016?
Pre-2016.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Right.
And so as the rap gift that I was given at the end of that season, it was a Trump the board game, which was one of his.
Oh, I
Like a
remember seeing that
Monopoly
at your
style.
place. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
still unopened, still in the
Right.
original plastic. I've never opened it because then, of course, it's kind of like getting, Hitler the art game before he got into politics, and then you're suddenly like, now this might be a good art set, but it feels like the wrong time to be bringing it out and
Yeah.
playing it around the table, even ironically. But yeah, I wonder if something like that, a thing that I think doesn't exist. I might be one of the few people in the world who has an unopened copy of Trump the board game. Do you think there is a Trump fan? Is there some? Should I be
Oh,
getting on like
yeah.
eBay or Facebook
For
Marketplace or
sure.
something and trying to sell
Dude,
this like
people are using AI.
Trump the board game? Elise? Would I be able to?
Then you're basically selling to Nazis. Do you want to take
No,
Nazi
of course,
money?
of course.
Do
you
I want to
Do you
take?
wanna
They
make
would
money
be
off
spending that
Nazis?
money on
like
Nazi
white
stuff.
yeah,
you want them to spend it
exactly.
on you instead?
Yes.
there are students in India.
Of course, I'll use it for good stuff. In the same way as when I tour Perth, all the money that people are spending at my shows comes from the mining industry.
Very
But I
true.
take it back to the eastern states and use it on shit that Gina Reinhardt would hate. This is the way that it works.
There are students in India who are creating AI bots that are they're like deep fake videos of MAGA women, like beautiful MAGA women who are like, promoting all this kind of stuff and getting like MAGA guys to fall in love with them and starting up like OnlyFans and Venmo accounts and getting money sent to them. And it's like, that's how they're paying their way through university. It's like I'll just set up this technology and create these fake accounts, and like I'll just dupe all these. So you could definitely put that online.
I mean, it's currently selling on eBay used for $47 US. So I don't know.
Oh,
if
What
brand
about
new.
unopened?
Well, I
though?
haven't found one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, see?
Well,
It's still in
create-
perfect condition.
But if you create an avatar
Ah.
of some beautiful blue-eyed, blonde-haired like Marga girl, and say
I'm out.
no,
You create an avatar. No. I'm done.
easy.
I'm
It's
not
so
c-
easy to
I
do.
don't want to commit
We could
internet
literally
fraud.
take the video from this episode and turn you into a beautiful blonde-haired, blue-eyed Marga woman,
The world
and
is...
sell your board game.
I don't like the world we're living in anymore, Charlie.
Let me just read
Is
you.
this getting
Let me
old?
read you a verse
From the Bible.
that
Give me
might make
something
you feel a bit
that
better.
could get me through this.
I know something that will make
Yeah.
you feel better.
Uh-huh.
It's time for.
Yeah, no, that's on me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hold on. Well, you just...
Too busy doing your rosary out there.
I was too busy looking
Our
up
Father
mint
who art in heaven,
condition.
hallowed be thy name. Crack that pack.
Now,
We are in the prelim stages of Crack That Pack,
No, we're not.
aren't we? We're in
Well,
the,
we're
well,
doing-
last week was the elimination final.
Well,
This is the prelim.
well,
Because
but
whoever wins this goes to the
we've-
grand final.
Yeah, but we've got a new final system where we're doing a little repercharge mid-final.
you know what? Screw you guys. Last time you
Yeah.
made fun of my inability to understand how it works. And so you want to run Crack That Pack, Tell me how it's going to go.
Well, here's what's happened.
Okay.
So last time we had a bit of a dangler, which was the Biscoff cookie,
Yep.
which we decided that would have probably made it through, but it was in a tough round.
Yeah.
And so
We wildcarded it.
we wildcarded it. We decided that, and there's been a perfect opportunity for the wildcard because I've had a bit of a problem. This is great. This is very on brand for this thing that we've turned into a competition, which was never meant to be a competition. So there's no rules around it. We've had to sub in and out biscuits. There's no consistency. We're doing store-bought versus artisanal. But I went to the Northcote Bake Shop to get it as fresh as possible on Sunday because I had to fly to Sydney. We were recording on a Thursday, but because I do Gruen, I have to get it on the Sunday.
4-day cookie, still good cookie.
Well,
4-day
it was
cookie.
fine last time, right?
Yeah.
So I went on the Sunday. They were sold out. Now, they say they sell out a lot, but they're selling out earlier than ever. And I'm going to say we've got something to do with that. I feel like there is, like we've given it a little bit extra of a vibe. So we may have been hoist on our
Their
own
own
petard,
petard, yeah.
unfortunately. But the good news is they are open at 6 o'clock in the morning, the next morning, because they're a bakery
Mm.
and they're going to have some cookies the next morning. Now, here's the problem. I'm getting picked up at 8 o'clock to go to the airport, but that's fine. I can still drive over to Northcote at that time of the morning, get a fresh cookie, come back home. So 2 days in a row, I go to the Northcote
my
Bake Shop.
God.
They weren't ready yet. So,
Oh, no.
instead, so I gave it a go, but instead, we've had
Same bakery, same organisation.
Same
so,
bakery.
Yeah.
different biscuit from the same bakery. So I think what would be fair at this point is we have a wild card round
Yeah.
where we put the Biscoff, like the wild card cookie,
Yeah.
up against this one
Okay.
to see which one deserves to go into the final four. Then we go head to head in the final four.
Okay.
How do we feel about that? Is that okay?
All right.
Works
So-
for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Should we hit the entrance music for Biscoff?
Okay, let's do a Biscoff entrance music. Do we have that? Oh, hang on.
It'd help if I looked at my emails before we started this record. Give me 1 second, boys. Forwarding this to the studio computer. Look, this is my second ever record with you in person. Give me some grace.
No, it's fine, man.
We don't mind.
good.
This is the most professional we've ever been.
I'm going to edit this out later. You're
exactly.
going to get it
I
on
don't need
Patreon
to.
in the full video
Hello,
section,
full
but
video.
that's about it.
That's okay. Yeah. All right. Hello, full video. I won't say any slurs. Normally we fill this downtime with slurs, but
Yeah, we just go on
because
our,
this is going on Patreon, I'll
our
keep it
rants.
slur free. I mean, to be honest, that is, if it was full of slurs, that'd probably be the direction where
Oh, it would
you know,
be would
really
do
get
so
pop
well.
off. Like we've done all these, like we've done Bible verses and slurs in this episode. It's going to get some real weird internet crossover.
Should I open this?
You can open
Yeah.
it. You can crack
Use this time
that
to
pack.
crack this pack.
Yeah.
Last time because I had to do another order from the cookie factory, like another delivery.
Yeah.
And last time they sent me like bonus stuff, a bonus cookie
Yeah.
and a thing of Biscoff spread. And this time they didn't send me anything.
Yeah.
It's like, and this is after we've promoted them on the show. We tagged them in our Instagram post and they were like, thanks for the promotion, guys. Where's my free biscuit?
Where is your free
Although
biscuit?
they probably didn't know we're the same people.
Probably not, but still.
We've cracked that pack. I'll have one now.
Yeah, I mean, I did. There was a moment when I went back the second time and the biscuit that wasn't going to be ready in time, and I was like, "We are like, I know you don't know this, but we're giving you a lot of."
I know. I said that because I had to
I
go
don't
to
know if you don't know that you're letting down someone who's like really giving you a biscuit. Like, I know you don't know that, but.
I saw Tamsin. She tagged him when we first posted.
Oh,
She was
yeah.
like, "Hey guys, like
Yeah.
you know," and no response. I'm like, "Well, maybe they just don't know
they
it's
don't
on
care.
social media."
They sell a lot of those. They do
Did
sell
they?
a lot of those.
We are small fry.
I think so. That it's a popular biscuit.
Okay, I haven't listened to this, so here, let's all go on this
Okay,
adventure
great.
together.
All right. Oh yeah, making his way to the ring. Here's the sweet coffee biscuit that you've always feared. From parts unknown, weighing in at 15 grams. Biscoff! And then Biscoff starts coming down the ramp.
I mean, that was good. We don't need AI. We've got theatre of the mind.
All right, so
All right,
Biscoff's in the
first.
house.
Are we doing
Yeah,
Biscoff
let's do
first?
Biscoff
Let's go
first.
with Biscoff first.
I haven't eaten any breakfast, so sugar will be the first thing entering my system today.
Yeah, is that not the? That's
that-
the first thing
you
every
wake
day.
up, just snort a line of sugar.
Just a little bit of chocolate, just to start the day. You know. So Charlie's going in for the Biscoff biscuit first. Obviously, yeah, we know what it is, but that's kind of the appeal of the Biscoff is that it's crunchy, it is sweet. I think it's a good one to start with as well. Good consistent flavour. You're not going on a journey with
If
your
you're gonna
Biscoff.
eat a biscuit first thing in the morning, this is the one because it's kind of light. It's not too heavy. It's got a little bit of sugar. It's like having a coffee and a biscuit. Perfect. Well done, Biscoff. I'm sorry that we eliminated you, but you were up against one of the competition favourites.
Good biscuit. The
Yeah.
only thing I'm going to say is it is what it is.
Samey.
Yeah.
If you have more than two, I think you're getting a bit bored. Now, what's this guy? So
Yeah.
the last one was the comeback. Oh, sorry. Can we have entrance music
Oh,
for,
yeah. Okay.
for what's this guy?
This is the malt choc
Okay.
cookie.
All right. From Northcote, Victoria, weighing in at 4 grams, covered in sea salt and milk chocolate. What's it called?
I think it's a malt chocolate cookie.
It's the Malt Chocolate Cookie. Okay, great.
I reckon get a bit of that edge that has a bit of chocolate. Yeah, I reckon that's got to go. I reckon that's going to be the go there. So it's probably a bit softer, I reckon, than the other one is. The other one's a little bit crunchier than this one, I would say. I'll get Charlie's opinion first.
Okay, that is a delicious, softer than I like in a cookie, but I know where I'm going with this already. That is an outstanding. I think that's actually even better than the comeback.
Oh my god!
Like that's
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I cannot believe
broken
what is
him in
happening.
half.
What is happening in Crack the Pack?
Wow.
This is controversial.
It's hugely controversial.
I thought
but-
this was there was a chance that the sub was not gonna.
No.
But
Oh
you're
my god,
saying-
the subtlety of the malt that it is such a disciplined
Yeah.
cookie. They haven't gone overboard with the chocolate. They haven't gone overboard with the malt. It's all the flavors. It's yeah. Like I think we have a new favorite.
Wow.
I think this has turned the competition on its
Oh
head.
my god!
I'm really upset these guys haven't sponsored the podcast. We're giving them too much free
I mean,
advertising.
they have no interest in what we're doing. Like, the fact that when I went in to
pathetic.
get that other one, they were just like, there was a bit of me that was like, oh, it's the guy who talks about us constantly, who's saying we're the best.
Has no
biscuit.
idea you are.
Nothing.
In fact, they
We
charge you
don't have
double
any.
for annoying
We're out,
them.
mate. We'll have some tomorrow. Oh, we don't have any yet. Who cares about you? Oh, well, I'll get this other one that's been sitting here for 4 days. It won't get through to the finals. Charlie's like, this is the best biscuit I've ever eaten.
It's so like, Elise, you're new to this show, but this is the problem. Will and I, we love something, whether it's a Stanley Cup or Muji clothing
Oh, I love
or a
Muji
biscuit,
clothing.
and we give them free publicity.
Yeah.
We just can't help ourselves.
Hague's chocolate.
Hague's sent
Oh.
us at least a
Yeah,
care package.
that's true, actually.
And they
did.
sponsored us for a period as well.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime.
Yeah,
Hague.
love
Hagues,
you,
please
Hagues,
come
come
back.
back.
And more. I'm
Speaking of comebacks,
Yeah.
hey, Northcote Bake House.
Bake Shop.
Bake
It might
Shop.
be that we constantly say the name of their business wrong. That might be the one.
All right, give
thing.
me your take on the Malt Chocolate Cookie.
I don't know if I do love it more than the comeback, just because of the crispiness.
Mm.
I love just that extra little bit of crispiness. I wonder if this, when it's fresh, is that little bit extra crispy.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it's
'cause
just
it's
got a
4
little bit
days
softer
old.
as it's got day on. But I do agree with you that malt chocolate, and because I love a Milo thing, and it's not that Milo flavor, like there can be just all. This is like more that journey of
It's
like
a
through
journey
the
of
chocolate and
flavours.
the malt, and the salt is just so
And
delicious.
and look, and this is where Biscoff's really like, it's not too sweet. I love a biscuit that's just got a little bit, just a little bit dry, just so it's not whereas the Biscoff is like, hey man, do you like sugar? Because we're about to mainline this into your eyeballs. So yeah, look, I'm real sorry, Biscoff. We brought you back. This is humiliating.
That really is.
We've brought Biscoff back. It's humiliating.
Just to dump it
Just to
again on
dump
a
it
rock in
again.
South Africa.
It's like The Bachelor. we've brought back one of the contestants just to break her heart all over again. Don't worry. Biscoff will go and start her own podcast and become the biggest biscuit in Australia.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
perfect.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Biscoff will do a right wing turn.
You know who's taken over this country? Mint slices. Dark dark chocolate mint slices.
It's actually calling itself "fuck off" now.
Fuck off, wherefore?
Biscoff to where you came from. All right. Well, we're
all
going
right.
to keep the rest of that cookie then for
For the next
future
round.
finals.
Okay. So I assume that's going to, you guys will
He
explain.
says while continuing to eat it, Will.
Yeah. No,
No,
he's
this
just eating his corner.
This is from my original. piece.
Having said that, I did. I can't with the other biscuits we had to bring in. I brought in doubles because I thought that might happen.
Great.
So we have doubles of the other ones. But that's great. Okay, sorry, Biscoff. That's embarrassing. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this episode. Can I encourage people?
Can I encourage people to come and see my shows in Brisbane in particular? It's in a few weeks from now. So Brisbane shows, what you're talking about, Will. Then Canberra after that. Canberra's nearly full, but get in quick for Canberra, but there's tickets available for Brisbane. These are my final live shows for ages. I'm going to take an indefinite break from live performance. So if you want to come out and see me, please come out to Brisbane in particular. There's some tickets available.
It's scarcity. Nothing drives ticket sales quite like scarcity.
Well, in Brisbane, scarcity isn't quite. We're not quite at scarcity yet. In Canberra, we're at scarcity.
We're flush.
Brisbane, I'd like to get us a little closer to scarcity. That was what I'd like.
And if you want to support the show, the best way to still do that is Patreon. I've been doing these live streams every Thursday and Friday. So Thursday I do teams and tips for the 2 Guys 1 Cup, which has been great. And then on Friday it's just a general chat. It's been heaps of fun. So if you want to take part in that, you can sign up to Patreon at any level. But we also do early releases of every podcast. We do full videos of TOFOP. It's well worth joining. But we'll be back again next week. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson.
I am not a